Gonna trade my earthly home for a better one, bright and fair. Christ left to prepare a mansion for his children in the air. I'll join him in that land where tears nor sorrows can be found, and I'll receive my mansion, robe and crown.
Good morning. I hope we are all doing well. We thank God for today. It's the first day of the week, and we have all had the opportunity to be partakers of this great assembly. I'm presenting the sermon today, but my sermon will still provide the opportunity for any of us here to share or ask. You are going to participate in my sermon today. So more or less the teaching, the last teaching for this program. I am discussing with you on the topic entertainment, mania, and church growth. Entertainment, mania, and church growth. And your preacher called me and gave him the job. Which was saying, and also lecturing. So I needed to. There are a lot of things that we need to understand as a church. Put aside seeing Church of Christ as the only saving church. You put that aside. Let us assume that we are also one of the denominations, just as they want us to believe. Every church in this country has its own peculiar teachings and practices. True or false? Is the Pentecost the same as the Catholic? In the same way, the Church of Christ should be seen. Unfortunately, what we believe and practice is always attacked, mostly not by outsiders, but our own brethren. The question is why? Clearly, this shows us the impact and the active participation of Satan in our midst. And we should understand that. Because a lot of people, sometimes for the past 2 days, have been asking Kennedy that. Is it because what we have known and taught over the years, not yet, is there a new knowledge that I am yet to know? I've been asking him. So, if you have a baby, you go home, I'm sorry, I don't know. Because if you look at some of the things that are emerging in the churches of Christ today, you wonder and ask ourselves, where are these people coming from? Have they been with us all these years? What have changed? Entertainment, mania, and church growth. There's no entertainment anywhere in any church in this world apart from emotions and sensations. If we say that there is entertainment in the church, it is all about emotionalism and sensationalism. That is all. That's the first. That is what brings anything we can define as entertainment. Now, let us define when we talk of emotions. In as much as some of these innovations that we see in churches and are trying to find their ways into our midst. In as much as some of these innovations may be as a result of wrong interpretation of scriptures, they are basically based on sensationalism or emotionalism. Sensationalism, especially in journalism, refers to the presentation of stories in a way that is intended to provoke public interest, excitement at the expense of accuracy. So, what are we seeing? Yesterday we had a lot of discussion during the group discussions. Can we consider unity, one of the questions we answered, at the expense of Bible truth? We feel that this is the right thing. This is what should be done. Without considering what the owner, the propounder, the formulator of the institution we find ourselves in is saying. We want to be the owners of what we want to do. So that is the media sensationalism. It's all about your home watching news now. News are among couple of already 30 minutes there, between the 1 hour. You better to news and that is what most of us are interested in. A whole lot of sensationalism is the act of foregoing accuracy and dignity in order to capture headlines of public attention or public attention. Public attention. And that is what we are being advised to believe today. The world must know X. Church of Christ is over here, How come there? And this is exactly what some of the preachers are saying. Church next year. Now you can see it about the only part of the key now. But maybe now the key to the public has been found. So you may be now the people you will see it. They believe that all knowledge is acquired through the use of senses. That is the sensationalism. True that all knowledge is acquired through the use of senses. The ethical doctrine that feeling is the only criterion of good. Defining what is good or right is dependent on the feeling of the individual. Relativism of sin. I don't see anything wrong with it. And these are some of the things that are entering into the church today. And I ask myself, at a point where a lot of us have had the opportunity to rise up to higher education, that is where we turn back to incriminate what we have known and believed over the years. It was a crime that was committed those years, and now we need to correct them. That is what is happening. That is what we are seeing today. So everybody wants to do what is right. Depending on what the sense is saying. That is what we do. And that is what we want to do. In a strictly secular sense, defining emotionalism, emotionalism entails the formulation of policies or decisions based solely upon subjective feelings. So what is happening when a Church of Christ is man? Confusion and rot and unpredictability. So now we sit down as church leaders, as elders, as preachers, we want to plan, and there is no God anywhere in our plan. The Bible is nowhere. Because I listened to a preacher on Peace FM, and I'm on TV, and I ask myself, where are we going? Are these the preachers we call in churches of Christ? Where are we heading towards? And sometimes people say, oh, what branch here, part out there, so well, I don't know. I'm here to see. So, subjective rather than objective truth. We don't want them to talk about what is right. This is how it is that it should be. It is subject to the feelings and what I think should be done. And that is what is going on. So, in the simplest form, emotionalism means to base one's choice upon how one feels. In a spiritual or theological sense, where my interest is today. The concept of emotionalism entails basing one's spiritual decisions and priorities upon emotions and feelings. It is to be led or controlled by emotions. In other words, how one feels rather than facts or knowledge. That is what one thinks or knows to be truth. What one thinks and knows to be the right thing is put aside, and what we think. So now our decisions and our practices are becoming S-centered instead of God-centered. S, we get, as we think is right, and not what God is saying. Well, they gave me this Mania. And the little understanding I had with that word, Mania, mostly associated with medicine. I have no study in medicine yet. So, don't take me deep inside there. I'm a social scientist. Mental illness marked by periods of great excitement, euphoria, and delusions, and overactivities. When one finds himself in such conditions, there's nothing that can be defined as being wrong. Everything is right all the time. The person wants to feel excited. Everything is right there. Are we gradually, spiritually becoming like such? You see, and this is what the denominations have been defined. Sometimes when we were here, church of the school, CCC, and it will be under shades, blue black, the church of white. Will be children say, and when the ladies come, but we'll teach, and then I'm not welcoming of the General Council of Churches. Now we look at congregation managers, we are less than who need to do when you go, if you are ashamed of yourself and what you have, does the youth understand the church we are in? Let's ask yourself, do you really understand the church? Do you believe in your faith? That question is for you. Do we teach them about the church? That is another question. What are we teaching in our churches? What are we teaching the youth? In your various campuses, what are you learning? When we were here, our brother policeman is here. There were some of our police. Anytime you visit them in your rooms, you find a small rectangular book, rhapsody of where is something. You do worship. very lenient. My comment wasn't so much, but Brother Richmond would always come and talk to cry. He would take me very good. Every day. And the unfortunate thing is, those key ones we know, they are not members of the Church of Christ now. Yesterday, you stood there and talked about one of our colleagues who is a Jehovah's Witness now. That was one of the source of books when he was on campus here. Because my brother said, the brother used to worship at also. He's not the Jehovah's Witness. He was a very good friend of us. And here now, the poor church of Ufia or Fasa or King Kai, actually no one said. National any that movement are fact. Anything about Church of Christ was rubbish to me. This is where we are heading towards. So there were questions I put there. You answer. Are there any alternative way of converting people? We are asking ourselves. Yes, we must be innovative in how we preach. We must be very innovative. Oh, we want to see here. Oh, let's see this. Oh, simple. Oh, I don't use it. Look at you, because the one that I will preach says there's a good answer. No matter how patient or lenient that person is, obey the scripture. Now that's the one we want to hear. So just as one of us, we make a comment there. We must be very serious with what we go out to do. We ourselves, we are not learning. On Shia, you never say one man, I tell you guys, you move back to quotation, and put in the alpha, as a same guy. And it's someone of our preachers who went to meet this on my grace program. So for my people who never master for joy. Look at that with you. Just because you are in the Bible college, being in the Bible college does not make you a preacher. You must understand. Who Bible college guys, not also Bible college is not a preacher. A lot of us are Bible college students, graduates, and we are not preachers. When you are preaching, you are preaching to a so we don't want to form a society. It is happening. Innovative ways is very, very important. The truth is that yes, speak it, but it does not give me something when I also present to us. Learn how to present. At the end of the day, we need to know we will know yes. Obey yourself, this now question to reason with you. The diversions from the doctrines is causing us to employ alternative entertainments. Even our brother wish for God. Entertainment. The purpose celebrates back to me and I'm sorry. Oh, today. Celebrates when I'm some Luciano. You see? Oh, will come, then another preacher will come to counter. Church of Christ. The preacher will tell you that Ephesians 5:19, Bible says, sing songs, speak to yourselves, and not here. And your Bible church. And your Bible church. We have chosen to sing. It will be to choose of the The Bible never said anywhere that do not use instruments. So long as it is not explicitly said, do not use, he has the right to use a church of Christ preacher. And at large, a lecture at one of our largest Bible colleges in Ghana here. It's a shame. I'm always encouraged. But I don't encourage so many people entering into the Bible college. But the Bible colleges are forcing people to come, they want to graduate more people, grow more people, to feel their existence. And they are training and bringing a lot of trash into the brotherhood. It is true. Oh, do not preach about the church, preach about Christ. And I have a simple question. Is Christ different from his church?
No.
Preach about it. What is the gospel? I will go there. I'm happy our brother Richmond has answered that with that same statement. Don't preach about the church. It will offend people. Yes. Equality, freedom of prayer. And yes, I can. I should really hold fast to. Oh, and I never kind of say yes. Can we get a person to see ahead? Especially working in a ministry that's empowering women. Ministry of, I think I should be a propagator of encouraging the women to be preachers to also be doing that. But I believe in what the Bible says. I believe in the Bible. So Ephesians 1:22 says that Christ is the head of the church. And the verse 4, the chapter 4, verse 4 also says there is one body. And verse 5, one Lord. The first statement for the verse 4, chapter 4, verse 4, is that there is one body. And the first statement for verse 5 is there is one Lord. And chapter 1, verse 22 says, Christ, the Lord, is the head of the body, which is the church. So, just accept the head, but the body is not necessary. Accept Christ, church is the Mania. So, how do you accept the head here? Christ is not the head. How do you accept him? Without being part of him. He is going to feed you after accepting him. It will not the revelation the room now. What you do, so what are you going to eat? Where are you? Which part of the body are you? How will you grow? How will you nourish? And some of us don't want to reason through this. Well, that is what is happening. We ask, are we growing as a church after we stop preaching the doctrines of the church? Yes, some of our preachers have stopped. You will meet some preachers also, but the doctrine you were going to so many years ago, you have to teach. And unfortunately, we go to those congregations and the members are British. A lot of their members are. So you ask yourself, when you stop preaching the doctrine, are you growing? Have you grown? Yes, we have. It's okay, the lights are off. But my voice will be loud enough. I hope you can hear me. Oh, thank you. We have approach in maintaining the church. That we preach the gospel, we preach Christ being crucified. We preach his church. Over the years, since the church came to Ghana, I won't go anywhere outside. A lot of people
Now we stop preaching that because we do not want to offend any of them. My question is, after we stop and adopting new approach, are we growing? Clearly, most of the congregations are either stagnant or retrogressing. They are going back, going down, falling. After adapting the new approach, commonsensically, it tells us that the new approach we adopted is not working. But we still want to propagate it. That is what we still love to do. Do you know why? It is not them. That is what Satan wants the church to be. We are not being wise enough to identify the carnal nature of the devil creeping into our midst to divide and destroy the foundation that has been built. We are not seeing that. We are busy doing things we think sensationalism. Things that we think should help us grow. Yet, we are either stagnant or going back. The question is, why? Can we logically conclude that the alternative is not working? Politicians can't have the alternative is empty. So the alternative churches of Christ are employing is empty and it's not working. Then we need to go back to the drawing board. Maybe we have another alternative. And we can try. None of our senses would be able to bring us to where we want to be. You can't take Christ out of his church and grow. If you are taking Christ out of his church to grow, you just become one of the denominations. You do not no more exist as the church of Christ. In our attempts not to offend anyone by preaching the church, your question is, we are going down or are we progressing? The answer is no. In preaching and evangelism, because now most churches have stopped doing evangelism. Yes. Because since of us here, all that day. What's the idea? Baptism. Somebody wants to sprinkle. Other want to pour. One also wants to immerse. So why do you go out to tell the one who is pouring to stop and immerse? If you are telling us that we should use our senses, that is the best their sense could give them. And that is by choice. You choose which approach you think is right for you. I will not be surprised that the time will come in the Church of Christ. It was Subona near Bissau. Open immersion and ask for sprinkling. I won't be surprised. Because we should relax so that a lot of people will come. Whatever means that people will find interest in being part of us, we should be able to employ that in our midst. Singing. I sat down yesterday. I had all that I was going to do in my head. I asked myself a lot of questions. And I started putting down some PowerPoint presentation, which I didn't want to do. But instead, that is what some of you also want to see. So I tried to put down in details the things that I wanted to say. Now, when you look at our tree hymn now that we use, this tree hymn now was translated so many years ago by one of our elders at Bomso, that in Seru. Most of us It's everybody. These books are there. We sing them. May your performance one again and we need to be and you get to do that. Now look at the number of people he has impacted by translating into the key. I still want to maintain that there are thousands of hymns that we can still translate. And over the years, what he did has ended. I'm not seeing the church taking any critical look into translating more. And most of us think the hymns right just get to the warriors and one kakrana and one. What are we doing to build upon that legacy that he has given to this church? What are we doing? It is enough for us. Because if you are on campus and you look at the hymns, the service selections and the songs of the church, right? There are a lot of them. I have another one that contains more than 1,000 hymns. We will help to translate more of these songs for us. We never thought of it, and we are not thinking of it. And you know what we are doing now? Apart from those hymns that were translated by the elder, which almost every church is using now, you will turn to the latter parts after what he did, and you will see some songs there. So many of them. If you apply just 2 lines. I don't have problem with it. But the problem I have with this is that it has made most of our songs leaders very lazy. Not only songs leaders, churches, preachers, have also become lazy because time and night we have a day that we go to church to learn songs or to practice songs. Some churches on a Sunday, once in a month, they meet and learn hymns, songs. Today we have stopped. The only difference we see between what we are doing here and what the Pentecostals are doing are the organs and the instruments. I have a friend who is a Presbyterian. One time, said their moderator visited them. And he only did some and in the presence of the moderator, he stood up and stopped them and asked the gentleman to pick their name and sing. And the comment was, that is our identity. Hallelujah. This is what they believe. Now, we have put these songs there. They are so easy to learn. Because even without writing those songs, we sing them every day. But for our hymns, we need to project them. Now we project all those 2-line songs and all that. There's something we need to do. I think I know the recommendation there. There is that the University Church should find a way. Because I'm seeing they've written a lot. Yesterday I was sitting here. Oh, I know I have to know. You will sing. I am not there. Why would people say, you are singing with joy? And you know where those songs are coming from? They learn them here. And there is a brother, this man Papa. The guy is so good. On one side, and you know, so yeah, anybody goes to farm. I didn't know that too. Some songs are curses. If you don't know, may I always say, a lot of people may not agree with me. I have been an assistant preacher in the preacher for the Old Testament Church of Christ for about 4 years before I left for Accra. I went to Ghana Bible College here. For my last year, I was given to one of the elders, the editor. He trained me. I used to worship there. From last year, anytime I come to Accra, that's where I used to worship. And I always used to tell my people at Stafford that one of the most spiritual services that I feel whenever I attend in Kumasi here is the Montreal Church. You may disagree with me. That's what I see. You know why? Their songs alone, everything is silent. Those are Asia and running around in because of the breaking for it. But oh, she said, oh, be great is there. Very disciplined. And it comes to their service. There's no beauty in witness again. So you will feel you are singing hymn. You don't understand the words. How do you sing with grace in your heart? How do you sing with understanding? How do you sing to communicate to one another? And I'm very happy to see what the DAY3 Church is doing. They've written a lot of these songs. And a lot of them. I was recommending they should find a way to help their churches. Different was born in so Accra, near back. They see, I was saying, we now get to see a new war. And you back at Church of Christ, he never could be a Church of Christ himself. Those are our number for you. You know. You can help to write these songs for us. And it will help the churches a lot. Because the Bible says we should sing psalms. How do we sing psalms? We must sit down, read the psalms, and that was what David sang. The Bible says we should sing hymns and psalms. These psalms, how do we sing them? I like this woman, Esther Nyamiche. Sometimes I just open the book of Psalms, and I will be reading the song now also. Psalm 34, 35. That's about 5 songs there. And you can read it. So I understand what the Bible says. Church of Christ for young man to do. Do you know the woman? But I don't know one another. The Nigerian woman. Because it is preaching. It talks to their hearts. What are we doing? Let us see what we can also do. Our sons leaders, I was so happy. The sons leader for today. That's very good. And the guy sitting at that side, the projector. We know what you are. Then you down. And you were listening on. Why? There was coordination between him and the sons leader. And you are between now. Sons leader not nasty with you. They will plan our prayer and all the amount. Oh, we need to listen to that message. It's an effort. see if we are able to see all one number. You go to what you know, and as I would tears it from a tissy man was a non swat tears in the hour. Yes. Say, answer when the square of Bible see a family class on the road. If you don't know. Yes. That is what we should be doing. Very nice. So, what our brother Apa is doing here in the church, now, preacher training. Help me. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 2. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 2.
And the things that you have heard from me among many witnesses, commit these to faithful men who will be able to teach them all.
Paul talking to Timothy. And the things that you heard from me, Timothy, commit, teach, hand over to faithful men who can also teach others. This is the Bible college in the Bible. This is how the Bible expects preachers to be trained. Before I went to the Bible college, I was preaching. When I was in second year, I applied. But some of our students have gone there and they were not performing because the academic calendar in that of university was almost the same. It is some of them now having almost having the chance here. Unfortunately, some of them were linked to some of the preachers, lecturers who are also church members. They were close to the Bible college, so they saw it. So from our time, it will be a time I don't say we are university students who maybe this away with. And it was a very wise decision by the college. So after graduation, when I was doing my national service as an administrative assistant at Unity Hall, I used to go to the Caucus. That was where we did it. Now, if you are a preacher, you have the responsibility to identify faithful men. There's a general training class in the church. What does it mean? If you are a gent in a university church here, no free hand, graduate, no one you ever so prepare someone. Or say the university certificate influencer. Also, one. Because just training, you better how to prepare sermon. And you nobody pray. So before I went to the Bible college, there are a lot of things that I was taught there. We were already practicing them here. We were going to village evangelism on the public platform, preaching. See, sometimes some of the questions here, the two of us are practically. You know that you are writing what you are doing. Very well. Today, Latter-day Saints, anybody question now was never Bible college. Which one is yours? He once made a mistake. This is it. I regret what happened. This guy came, got baptized, and then I was also about Bible college. This is a common doing. So they still now want it is good. I'm sure when he started misbehaving, you have left. Because I was still on campus after graduation. I worked with Unity Hall for about 4 years before I went to Tapo as a preacher. I don't know if this guy is still a member of the church. He became a very great opposition to the Church of Christ. He came back from Bible college, and now we were selecting leaders, and he thinks he has gone to the Bible college. So why should we go beyond him to appoint someone to lead the church? Church is members now as a little leader. I'm going to be temporary. I'm going to say, we are campaigning, and I'm hiring, we preach. tell your preacher to go to the Bible college. Then when I was going to the Bible college, the then preacher on one of the recommendation, I went to Tafu Unit and the recommendation letter. That was something I want to recommendation letter. Also, some of you go Bible college. And you all ever know say, to society now, you have been justified. But today, anybody else who has we go. And that is one thing our colleges should also look at. And I will be there are a lot of incentives. Will be a person of the you will not be praying every person. They pray. A lot of the youth, the young guys, are geared into the Bible college, not because they have interest in going there to learn. That is what I'm seeing today. So what is changing? And now, when you graduate from university, they see a brother Richmond, Wachi is here, Kennedy is here, in there, this, college, and I'm going to preach it. Honestly, you are super good. And that's what you're not about college, you're not going to preach you. No. That is not it. You don't need a certificate from the Bible college to be preaching. You must do that as a necessity. You need to learn. So in your local congregation, if you are a preacher, yours is not just Sunday, you come and stand there, you preach, then you go and sit down, and that is all. You have the responsibility to select young, faithful men, people you think can also teach and preach. Train them. Which is looking and say, one of the some of the leaders. Because now they can also sit down, take the Bible, and prepare your own sermon. Which was good. Now, what will preach here? Yes, in the end of the man, or how to play through him anyway. He doesn't need to go to the Bible college and hold the certificates before. I know some people, Abraham can say, do apostles, our church, oh, Bible college, but when he stands before you and he is giving a series of the Bible, you will see, say, Bible was here. A preacher at the former headmaster asked herself, James also free. Oh, Bible college, but he used to teach at the Bible college then. Because he was a teacher, but he had no children class, and the church was assisting with preaching. He has led a lot of the experience. Which Bible can you avoid? These are some of the things we are seeing. Because a lot of us are coming out from the Bible college more corrupt than we used to be. We come out of the college and we are more corrupt than we used to be. Because I came out for me on the point. The foundation is weak, so it will surely fall. Now that we see many churches, so that's my point. We see many of us entering into the Bible college. We ask ourselves, why are we still crying that we are not going? Because a lot of us are coming out of the Bible college. Why are we then not going? Ask yourself. Why are we then not going? Are these preachers interested in the practices of the church when they come out? Are they interested at all in what we teach? Do they teach the Bible? If yes, what do they teach? When they open the Bible, what do they teach? They are the very people, most of them are those fighting against the church today. Most of them are those teaching the errors we are fighting today. They are not the people who have not gone to the Bible college. They are the Bible college graduates who are doing this, forcing this to us, forcing the church this thing. Why? Personally, If you tell me you want to go to the Bible college because you think somewhere you university, so you want to go. A lot of people are going there not because they want to be preachers. Oh, yes, you know, not the most Bible college. At least 3 or 4 years when you apply in Jamaica, so design or so school. That is what is happening. And so, when you come up, and so see a man is to your church. So, preacher, I want to cross you, so we don't go Bible college and then it's translate. And how many church members are supposed to son so before I go Bible college now? Yes, that is what is happening. Some people will not agree with me, but I always say that men, when we invest, unless a position also be a preacher, I will never recommend for you to that song for you if you are only answer for your preacher. Personally, and my own experience, I will not recommend it for you. You won't be like, I had a guy here, he was a medical student. On part of the office, no, I don't know, he's senior there, some campus of the preacher, I'm going to still get medical student. I will never recommend, please. In the Church of Christ today, the reason why that is leading me to the next one, the money and the giving. The reason why a lot of things are going wrong in the church is that a lot of people go to the Bible college, come out. When you have a good church, you can so many Muslim preacher. It's what the Muslim preacher. Today I am the church national and one of the The interest is not there. The interest in becoming a leader is not there. But for some conditions, it is no one can anymore. So, 1 Timothy 3, amen. When somebody wills, if there is a will to be an elder or a church leader, it is not there. That's what happened. The training is weak. The interest is not there. Yes, sir. Who will invest here? But what do you have to manage? If you don't be a you can still help the church. And I'm telling you, those who graduated and decided not to do any other thing, but only the answer was paying and paying money. Some of them, they are not happy now. They are not. And I'm telling you, for the nature of our congregation, you will not be happy. You will not. When I was going to Safo, I remember a preacher called me and said, on the obituary said, may your prayer and you should say, may your human kakra account. Sanyasa, or a member of your now later, the other was saying, the church of Christ, very young, was saying, but that was not his intention. Because he had the experience. He was an old preacher. He had the experience. And when I entered, I saw it. When the church feels that you are not doing anything and they are feeding you, when you go to another power, sorry. And then you shout. After point, somebody stood up and said, I want to sort of for Father will call evangelism to also just say, and you preach an answer to this account. When you're young boy, so there are models. It is good if you want to be a preacher, find your hand, doing something. You must have a source, a personal source of livelihood. So I said, I am advising you. It is my personal recommendation. You can agree or disagree with me. I beg. So you can. We let by the work in the there be a man over my father. A good government is a pie. But my two and let's advise you. Know where your interest is. Do whatever possible Yeah, if you want to help the church, you can still help. You don't need to stop everything and come and be a preacher and what's not one church. And you should understand that. Woman, I want to walk on Cassia preachers in Argentina. You are now, we are in a rich motor. We are in 14 years old. Think that you are sorry, Adade, and America. Only have some example. But you know, always, church, you know, I know of a preacher where I worship at least a God. You baby, once a while, no one says, but you're white anymore. And you're white and it is okay. Also, because it doesn't need the church of the church, the Church of Christ members go to congregation when they feed you one. That's a home of Papa. And most of our preachers are crying. Most of our preachers are crying. Now, I am not a preacher to any congregation, personally as I stand here. But now I believe that if I engage with any congregation to be a preacher, I wouldn't be so much burdensome to that congregation. Because I have my source of livelihood. And I can still do what I want to do. Yes, so you have to be a full-time preacher there. Just so you're full-time. Then they are not. Now, so I'm not what's that. Leaders now who are 21, they have a responsibility. Yes, so you can visit. I go to the Bible closed. The idea of this is between 5 positions and that. Because some of the station I can do. It is there. I have 4 weekends with me. So we must consider all this. A lot of us make that mistake and we come back and cry. Let us be very careful with that. Well, the time on us, I wouldn't want to go so much. But then with the money, which is the probably the last one, this challenge that I have mentioned is gradually paving way for a lot of connections in the church. I was talking to a sister 2 days ago. Said the idea was it? I think what should I do? Connection, giving. Oh, my sister, they say when we hair training, you are pet, machine are setting up the hairdressing salon in the church. You know, you're money after giving now. More fun. Who are as I see when you are more fun. Every day, more fun. You can't every day. I was no problem. And some of whom will or my year to another this year. The person of what is on some year, yes, I don't think everybody. Yes, some. Yeah, but then you ask about the Church of Christ in South Africa. See, we are here to much more than when we used to take a year tour at where I was, the other year they didn't actually thousands of this continue monster. But when the DAY3 said, we are in a society, in a culture, I can remember who will be who can, over it's a you will and a committee of question. And for accountability's sake, they will give you receipts, not for anything, not to count on one and answer one. They just give the receipt for accountability. Church know what they are. The church was not taking more than 2 visits from our person. But they will collect a rate about 5,000. They have 5,000, they go there, we decide, everyone say, we must say 4,000, then the 4,000. Yes, I'm going to try, what the church has divided from this is, you know, it was done out of 500 Ghana. Get that day. They should come out of their hearts to give. Say, yes, I don't want to pressure about to church. Yeah, bread. What's an church person that's alive? Now we have one, now we have one. There's no one as you, and there's outside the best alive. The benediction I saw them have. Your partner in the name of the church. Then we be entities working. Your digits working troubles are. Anyway, collection now now, my conclusion, I wouldn't go too much. My last one was on leadership. Now, a lot of people are climbing to be leaders, climbing up. Leadership is not more barbarian. They have accepted to be leaders of the church, but they feel ashamed of being leaders of the congregation where they find themselves because they have attained higher secular education. They are bigger than the leader in the congregation. So what they are fighting is to be a leader among all churches, congregation. What saddens me, when I was coming today, I was with Kennedy, and he showed me a video that was aired on Adade TV and the audio from the Peace FM. Church of Christ preachers at Greater Accra and this year. I have been appointed as the new president of the Preachers Association of Church of Christ. Over the years, the Church of Christ is hidden. So during my term of office, I'm going to make sure he was speaking to you. I'm just translating. I'm just going to make sure that the church comes out. The really church every I'm going to church now. Church over the years we've been preaching, said voluntary giving. So now my question is, who is he going to forces now? A preacher of Church of Christ. Now he's set a flat picking Adade TV. The Church of Christ that we've been preaching, says that number. Yamia from Yatina Wuchi, Yana NPC, and what parliament. This is what we are wasting off now. In our church, we have to say about their politics. Now, I didn't know that. If I do see that, the way I pay. Via East and Medina. Only the NBC for the Church of Christ for the NBC for the young back. Should you be an enemy to everybody? We should start to reason. We are preachers, but sometimes we behave like this. It's sad. I think the other thing is that I can never have a collection. And they will be able to comprehend. I'm there. This is the good thing I can find. What is this? I have experience. This is the kind of oh, yes. I have a lot of people who are pushing me. I tell them I'm not a politician. Because on KDS, they felt I was a little political. When we in election, this was because we know we had the largest constituency on campus. I could support SRC President from report to win the election at 20. That would if we can be told, they do the not say, not continental. But then, well, all this, if we plunge the church into such a situation, we'll be in chaos. And we should be very careful. And where professor, he had a good professor, also say a leader, they just said, or any on our church, you have to see a bit in the Africa, who we are, or better than the post one, will be at power with the good associate professor, the castle leader, the president of Church of Christ, Ghana, said they are post this is what we are striving for. And then we are entering into leadership crisis, confusions are. Now, I always say, maybe church will not answer. At a point, maybe I may see different things as time goes on. But most of my colleagues and my seniors, how many years ago, they are the very people who are fighting against the Church of Christ today. True of us. Most of them, the Church of Christ is a different church. And you could see that most of people who are scared in this change are liars. They hide behind the law, probably recognize now the just as I will be there. And you ask them, you know the law. My Church of Christ are very criminal. Satan is not against the church. Satan, that's what I hear. The congregation on time will be out. And they are tired, and they say they will be preaching the practices, the teachings of Christ. It is a church, if you do the church without the purity of the teachings, Satan has no problem with us. You will be at peace with him. The world will appreciate and accept us. But if you want to preach the very thing that the Bible commands or recommends, then we will be in danger. That's the conclusion. So we should be careful. If you don't take a reason, and now for what people are propagating, it looks like things will be so easy. Everybody will come. It will get to a point you may not even need baptism to be a member of the Church of Christ. Okay, you come, you love to be, but I don't feel like being baptized. It's okay. So some guys will laugh, but it is okay. We will get there if we don't take care. Now, Yeshua said, are we going? My key point here is, since we started this innovation and this change of doctrines and the purity of the truth, that is the very time we are stagnating or retrogressing. The point is why? The alternative is empty. The alternative is not working. We need to understand that the church has tradition, principles. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 15 and chapter 3, verse 6. We have doctrine. Sometimes they have doctrine now. Our pastor said, "At the body the doctrine is just like teachings. The teachings of Christ, the doctrines of Christ. Since when did the teachings of Christ become evil? But people prefer to teach what kind of doctrine now. I say, the doctrines are. And people tell, I am not doctor, when we were leaders, and our secretary, the financial secretary, was saying the persons and when. And they're teaching them when the persons and when. It is happening. Islam, Christ has his teachings. Let us abide in them. If you do that, then we are his children. If we do that, then we can call ourselves Christian. If we do that, then he can be with us at the end of the ages. If we don't take care and we allow what is going on to sweep us away, the future will curse us. Let us be highly circumspect in what we teach as church leaders, campus leaders of our various churches. We should be mindful of the preachers we invite to teach us on our campuses. When we were here, and your preacher did not be number property. You not say, you will never have the opportunity again. You never stay here. Yes, we made them know that it was wrong. And at a point, as workers continue, one preacher came, said, preachers living one of the students stood up. He's in US now, or Canada. Simon. So, since these people are not allowing you, what should we do? We can't do anything about them. They're only waiting till they die. Yes, the preacher said that. They are waiting till those preachers who are fighting against their children to die, so they can do it. You were in the second year or so. And I still remember the exact way. We are only waiting till we die. So some of the preachers are only waiting till some of us die. Okay, we are only waiting till some of us die. There's a 7 years before the actual maybe at least I have over 10 years to live on this earth. Until the new year, the book is here as well. Eventually, say the way to national massive. That we are not we are self perfect, no matter air possible, say they are dreaming, and they are not people changing on 88, especially as we rise on for secular education. Let us think of how innovative we can help in building the church rather than changing the teachings of Christ. May God be with us all. Amen.
For children in the